Everyone talks about real estate wholesaling and how easy it is to make $10,000. But what they don't talk about is the downside of real estate wholesaling. In this video, I'm gonna tell you the worst parts about it, and I'm not holding anything back. And these are the things the big real estate gurus won't tell you just so you can buy their course. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The first downside to real estate wholesaling is some states are becoming more restricted and some are not even allowing it anymore. And for the restricted states, they're saying that wholesalers are now required to have a real estate license. And having your real estate license takes some time just to do the course and make sure you're with the right association, plus having to join a brokerage and pay those brokerage fees, pay the MLS fees, so on and so forth. So you have to worry about those realtor fees and getting your real estate license in order to wholesale in specific states. And not every state is like that, but just know that sooner or later, all the states are working to get to that level. But make sure you speak to a local real estate professional in your area to see what the local laws are there, to see if it's currently restricted within your area. Now, the second downside to real estate wholesaling is it's very, very competitive. I don't know why so many people say that this business is not saturated, because it is. There are so many competitors nowadays. Ever since TikTok was created, and so many people have been posting on TikTok about it, including me, I do post about it. It has just become even more competitive within this space. Not saying that you can't get deals anymore, because you can still get deals. It's just gonna be a lot harder than it used to be. So just know that if you pull a cold calling list or a list to tech, or just send out marketing material in general to get deals, that so many other people are pulling that same exact list, targeting the same exact people, and these owners are just getting so many calls, so many texts, and they're just kind of tired of it. They're tired of talking with people, they're tired of people asking about the property, getting calls every single day. So this business is definitely saturated. There is a lot of competition, but just know that if you work hard enough, there are still more deals out there to be made, but you just gotta step your game up even more. The third downside to real estate wholesaling is your income will not be consistent. This is not like a regular W-2 job where you get paid every 2 weeks. You will only get income when you close a deal. So if you haven't closed the deal, just know you're not getting paid. So let's say you get a deal in your second month of wholesaling real estate. That's amazing. You make $10,000, but then the third month happens and nothing. And then the fourth month happens, then nothing. And the fifth month happens, then nothing. Guys, like, if you're doing this full time and you're not getting paid any of those months, how are you gonna be paying for bills? If you have a mortgage, how are you gonna pay for that? You know, if you have kids, how are you gonna support them? You wanna make sure you have financial stability. You wanna make sure that you're secure, because this income generating activity, wholesaling, is not consistent income. So you'll definitely wanna take this into consideration. Now, the fourth downside to real estate wholesaling kind of ties in with the third downside, where it takes very long to get a deal. This is not a get rich overnight type of business. Like, you gotta put the effort in, you gotta put the time in for you to be able to get deals. Each cold call you make, each text you send out, it's like you're planting seeds, and those seeds just don't grow overnight. You gotta plant them, then you gotta water them, and then they'll eventually grow. So just like a plant takes time to sprout, these leads, these deals are going to take some time to sprout. And the thing is, you'll see people on social media all the time posting, you know, all these big checks. Oh, they just made a $50,000 wholesale fee. They just did $70,000 in a wholesale fee, making so much money. But what you don't see is the behind the scenes stuff, because that lead that they close, it could have took them a whole year of follow-up just to get that deal. And you don't see how many times they followed up with that person just for it to pan out for them to make that $70,000 wholesale fee. So there's a lot of work behind the scenes that you won't see on social media. You just typically are gonna see the glitz and the glamour. So right after this video, you can honestly go pull a list to cold call and call that list and get a whole bunch of potential sellers that say they may want to sell here or there, but it's all about that follow-up touching base with them every month, every 2 weeks, every other day, depending upon their urgency of when they're ready to sell, and just continuing to keep up with them and be there when they do want to sell. And like I said, that can take 2 months, that can take 4 months, that can take 6 months, that could take a whole year. This business takes time. You're not going to get rich overnight. So just be aware that real estate wholesaling requires a lot of patience. Now, the fifth and final downside to real estate wholesaling is you need money to make money. I know they say on social media that you can get into real estate wholesaling with $0, with no credit score. You can just go full force. You really don't need an LLC. Unless you're serious, then you can go, get your LLC, so on and so forth. But you do need money to make money. Now, you can get into real estate wholesaling by driving for dollars. Just driving around in your neighborhood. If you don't have a car, you can walk for dollars, right? Walk around in your neighborhood, see a distressed property, call that owner on truepeoplesearch.com. That's a free platform where you can get the seller's number and give them a call to see if they do want to sell or not. Now, that's 100% free way to do it. But if you want to start making consistent income with this, you gotta do more things. You have to invest within the business to be able to scale and start making money consistently. And the thing about scaling is these platforms that we're utilizing, whether it's PropStream to be able to pull these distressed owner lists, whether it's Deal Machine to do the same as well, or for driving for dollars, whether it's, launch control, if we're sending out text, no matter what the case is, these platforms cost money and they can run up close to $1,000 a month if you get everything in general. Like, PropStream's $100 a month. Deal Machine's basically $100 a month. So they start to add up. But if you guys do want a small discount on those platforms, I'll leave the link down in the description so I can help you out with that. But still, if I'm being honest, they add up. So you do need money to make money within real estate. So the main thing you would want to do, so if you do get your first deal of $10,000, whatever the case may be, I would make sure to set money aside for taxes first and foremost. You'll have to speak to your tax professional to see how much you should set aside. But after you set money aside for taxes, I would take a good amount and just set it back into the company, because you want the company to continue to build. And if you put money back into the company, then you're feeding the company, and then it can start growing and growing for you to make that consistent income. But there's another downside to this downside. And the downside to you taking money and putting it back into the company of what you made from a previous wholesale deal is you could put $5K into a marketing strategy, whether that's cold calling, texting, or mailers, and still not get a deal. And that's crazy. Like, you could run through all your money and still not have a deal. So that's the scary part about it. So it's a very, very risky business, but if you know what you're doing and you have the proper systems in place and a good mentor, then you should be all good. Now, those are the major downsides when it comes to real estate wholesaling. There are a good amount of pros when it comes to it as well. So if you guys want to see the pros and the upside to real estate wholesaling, make sure you comment that down below. I can make a video on that as well. And make sure you go subscribe for more content like this. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.